Gosh. Anything that looks like this, close it immediately, throw it away, get your money back.
No! Oh my God, it's not the car, it's the picture. They don't even take pictures like this anymore.
This is better than a college education in design.
Oh, I inverted it, I made it different.
Ugh. It's unreadable. What would '50s guy with a pipe say who lives in a castle? Any After Effects tutorial, they're gonna be all geared towards making that junk. People skip over that and they just start trying to make it look cool. What if I slant the text? What if I make the picture like this?
It's more than just the guy. The general aesthetic vibes, they just don't exist anymore.
What do you say, pixel art played out?
Yeah, is pixel art good or not?
No, you just gotta be sophisticated with whatever you do. If you get mastery over the basics, you can do anything. If you get mastery over the basics and you have an eye, you can do literally anything and pull it off. You'll be fine. Practice just having higher standards and breaking stuff down, looking at it, talking to yourself about why something works or why something doesn't work. It's probably more valuable to look at a ton of, not even a ton, but a few good things versus a glut of bad things. You have to have influences. This is the guy who did all the Wipeout logos and design for Wipeout. This guy's style gets ripped off all the time. Like everything you see, Instagram is rip-offs of this guy's stuff, which is, it's fine. At some point, you got to have influences and stuff, but people are not looking at this and evaluating like how things are arranged in a grid, how the various like visual weights of things, like if you squint at it, like where the weight of the composition is, the positive versus negative space, that type of stuff. That's the type of thing that you need to, if you're a designer, you have to have that too. You can't just have swag and style. You have to, what you need to do is you need to get old design books from the 60s, 70s. Gosh, look at this. Oh, yeah, if you see anything that looks like this, close it immediately, throw it away, get your money back. This type of stuff. If it looks like this, you can throw it in the trash. Yeah, this is an example. Something that looks like this. It doesn't have to be this book. Find a book that looks like this. Find something that was published in 1978, before all these silly billy crap of the modern age of disposability comes into play. But find something like this and start reading. That's how you get your basis and your fundamentals. And then from there, you can steal whoever's style you want.
This era of photography, like there's something that hits
diffy.
It used to be the case that whatever the car was, they'd have some photos of it. This, really like this right here. Like car photography was a different too. They don't even take pictures like this anymore.
𝐉𝐸𝐴𝐻.
What's that?
𝐉𝐸𝐴𝐻.
Oh, that's the Y2K Aesthetics Institute?
Yeah, it's
take on it? Yeah, man, yeah. Oh my God. It's not the car, it's the pictures. It's this like era of
probably reverse engineer it and see like who the picture guy was, or maybe multiple guys.
Man, you know what? It's like this stuff gets lost. It just gets lost. Like the technique gets lost. Even the guys, the same guys, it just gets lost because it's more than just the guy. It's like the advertising agency, the brief that they send, the general aesthetic vibes of the time, they just don't exist anymore. There's this thing, Y2K Aesthetics Institute, which is, the kid's name is Evan Collins. This right here, he just catalogs stuff from the 90s and 2000s. And he gave it names too, like 𝐉𝐸𝐴𝐻 is like design that reminds you of the show Frasier.
Yep.
It's not oh, yuck. This type of shit right here. And there's like coffee shop corporate. If this type of thing interests you, look into Y2K Aesthetics Institute.
It's basically impossible to get a new book about graphic design or anything aesthetics based that's not like this regurgitated blog post, the 12 most inspiring graphic design trends for 2023. Like the person who wrote this probably has a book that's for sale on Amazon. So there's so much noise. So to get that real info, and this applies to probably more, I'm sure this applies to more things than just graphic design. If you're trying to learn anything and you find that the topical present day bestseller list is obviously made up of junk, it might be the case that you have to go back to the 1960s to get a book that actually has the information you need. So if you're doing design, This is one that you need to pick up, is the Basic Principles of Design. I'm sorry in advance if the eBay price is shooting up to $400 because of this, but Manfred Meyer, Basic Principles of Design. What is it? Grid-based systems. This is a good one right here. This might still be in print. Joseph Mueller Brockman is a graphic design one. And then get the on eBay. I just bought a bunch of these. But there's a type foundry and design house called 𝐉𝐸, and they had a magazine. And this, just buy like 5 of these and pick them apart, and this is better than a college education in designs. If you just pick up an 𝐉𝐸 magazine, try to strip away the styling. The aesthetic is like frosting on the cake. And a lot of people, the reason why all this new is garbage, all this like vaporwave, the stuff people are making, the AI augmented stuff and all the Y2K, all this is going to be, these people are not going to have jobs, and that's a good thing. If it's the type of design where thought is required, AI is extremely limited. There's a type of guy that I fucking hate, who's the everything's the same guy. This image right here, the style and the aesthetic is the thing that people see. The thing that people don't see, or the thing they don't acknowledge or think about, is just the composition, design rules, grid-based, whatever, negative space, positive, all the different stuff that goes in to the like before you start making it look cool. People skip over that and they just start trying to make it look cool, and it looks fucked up, and really think about what they're doing on the page. And they have a weird sort of Y2K, like this type of typeface design. Like it's not immediately apparent how good it is, but if you get these 𝐉𝐸 magazines, I think this is just Elliot Earl's stuff here, which is also great, but it's not like publication design. But pick those up and pick them apart. Like stare at a page for 30 minutes and try to write down what you think is happening there. I mean, these are my 2 most listened to albums from when I was like 13 years old here, and I really like this look of like comic art. Is a real good one. Who's the guy? Paper and Pixel? The guy that does the 3-6 Mafia album covers? Pen and Pixel album covers, yeah. This is like the genre right here. Yeah, these were very cool back in the day. And I don't think this is a Pen and Pixel cover, but it's kind of in that vein, just like Maximal, a lot of characters. Weirdly, it reminds me of I guess a lot of movie posters I like this, like Star Wars or something.
Firework package design.
This is really cool, though.
Yeah, it's my top.
Black Cat?
Yep.
I thought Black Cat was like a mousetrap brand. This is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Any graphic design from 80s, 90s, 2000s that's like, expensive is going to be good. This guy's aesthetic is so ripped off that at this point I don't even feel comfortable recommending people look at his stuff, but look at stuff that's good. I see the prices went up drastically since I recommended this. But look at stuff that's good and break down why it's good, and like just think about it. Sit there thinking about it, and also just look at design stuff from the 80s. You can look at like IBM ads, like 1990s magazine ads, like literally just like look at this. What is this? A commercial, an ad for $18 shoes, some not good looking model, whatever. But like where the line that this text is on, the text, like the way it's laid out, start looking at stuff like that. That's how you get better at this. Look at this, okay? Start thinking, and squint your eyes so that try to strip away the color, the styling, the fonts, the typefaces. Font is a computer file. Typeface is what the actual thing is. Try to strip that away, squint at it, and see like roughly compositionally where stuff is, what your eye is doing, etc.
Booga Booga says, Sam, from a designer's perspective, what is your favorite font? Is Helvetica played out or classic?
It's not that it's played out, it's that it's a little bit too sophisticated. Like Helvetica, a sans serif font should be very utilitarian, and it's like there was an episode of Pete and Pete where there was this guy, Mr. Perfect, and Mr. Perfect did everything right, but then they made barbecue.
Yeah.
And Mr. Perfect, he ate it, and when he was done, his fingers were immaculate. He didn't need a wet nap at the end. And then Pete said, "But Mr. Perfect, the perfect way to eat barbecue is making a mess. You're supposed to get into it and enjoy it. You didn't make a mess, so you didn't eat it perfectly." And then Mr. Perfect's like, "Oh no!" He realizes he didn't do it perfectly. Helvetica is kind of like that. Like it's the typeface should be utilitarian. It shouldn't be too beautiful and sophisticated. I was cleaning out my fonts lately, and I saw one that like hit the nail on the head. It wasn't as janked up, janky and fucked up as Arial. It wasn't as sophisticated as Helvetica. Accident's grotesque. This is not the one that I saw, but I like this one. I think it's pronounced Accidents. But this is a good one you can use if you want something that's like Helvetica that's not too snooty. I hate graphic design and I hate all this stuff, but David Ogilvy. Like if you read this book, you'll be ahead of the curve with marketing, and I hate this so much. And the whole industry is just ass. But this is a very sensible man, and he talks about writing advertising. So if you're just a graphic designer, you're not into advertising, then it's still applicable. The stuff that he says, it's like 50s rich guy with a pipe. What would rich guy with a pipe say? And he says stuff like, "Don't put white text on a black background because it's unreadable." Like basic. And the first thing, if you're a designer, you're trying to make something look cool, like step number 1 is I inverted it. I made it different. Oh, look at this. I put white text on black. It's unreadable. What would 50s guy with a pipe say who lives in a castle? He bought a French castle. 50s guy with a pipe said, "You do that, it's unreadable. So you have immediately failed by making something white text on a black background." Obviously, there's exceptions to everything, but this guy, I really admire his way of thinking because it's from an era when like people weren't trying to circumvent logic every which way to look like clever little jackalopes. What if I slant the text? What if I make the picture like this? What if I do that? I would say this is a good book for everybody to read. Like all books, it's 10% of it is applicable. You're not going to read the whole thing, and every letter is like, "Oh, this is gold." It's like 10% of it you take with you, but this is a good book. He's got a few of them. They're all kind of the same. Like he wrote Confessions of an Advertising Man, and then Ogilvy on advertising is like the same content rehashed. So you can read either of these. This one might be more like biography, or not like, "Then we got this deal." I think this one is on advertising might be the more practical stuff. But you could just read this. This is a good one. And like the way he thinks about advertising, start thinking about design or whatever creative thing you do like that.
A lot of tutorials online steer you toward the corporate graphic design trends you were showing earlier.
That's very true. If you look up any After Effects tutorial, they're going to be all geared towards making that junk. So the two things are, the one thing is that anything you think you want to do, you can probably do in After Effects. So it's going to take a bit more inventive Googling because Google search is broken nowadays. You're going to search for like more or less what you want to do for an effect in quotes, followed by the word Reddit. So you'll get at least people talking about it on Reddit is better than the optimized blogs that come up now on Google search. And then also just go down the effects panel, right click, start applying every effect and figure out what everything does.
Yeah.
That's the other thing you can do.
He says YouTube tutorials are all right, but some of the tutorials online make me want to walk into the woods and never look at the computer screen again. Thank you for any advice you may have.
I mean, the thing that I use After Effects for, I don't use After Effects for VFX. I'm not good at doing VFX, and I have no interest in it. I use it for design related stuff. So if you're into design stuff, I think it would behoove you to spend time reading about and learning about design rather than going too deep on the After Effects tutorials. But with After Effects, pretty much anything you think you should be able to do, you can do. Just think about what the effect is and then type it. I mean, it's hard to Google stuff nowadays. That's actually not a trivial roadblock. But just go through After Effects and apply every effect and learn what every effect does. It doesn't take that long.